Hi everyone, we are back on our YouTube channel Raid Oversimplified. There is currently a 24-hour window where the summoning rate of Gorgrab is 10 times that of any other epic champion. I'm so excited about it because it means I am summoning absolutely 0 shards of the non-mysterious variety until this event is over. So thank you Plarium for helping me moderate my shard pulls. If this event was ran for Tyrell or Skull Crusher, I can see there being a pretty big summoning push. Gorgrab, while a solid epic, and I'm actually building one for Faction War, but his kit is basically Arbiter Light, all the way down to this speed aura for Arena, and everyone already gets Arbiter eventually. So I'd be curious to see if this event actually results in more of a summoning freeze than a summoning rush. I think he is incredibly useful for Faction War though, and I'm thinking about building an undead faction team around protecting Bloodgorged, which, much like my High Elves team, is basically centered around keeping Royal Huntsmen alive. It's really hard to do without Nethro and Bad El, and it's pretty unfortunate that's the only 2 undead legendaries that I don't have. If you're building a serious undead team though, I think Gorgrab might actually be indispensable, especially if you're also running my stall and ignore defense nuke strategy. If by some extremely unlikely chance that you have, Nethro, Bad El, Scartorsus, Bloodgorged, Xalatal, and somehow don't have Gorgrab, this is without a doubt the event for you. Anyways, today I want to do an oversimplification of Mortu-Macaab. I have had one guarding my vault for a few months, and then, as you may have seen in the Sacred Shards video, I pulled a second one recently. A few reasons contributed to my decision to build him. The first is that I think he looks really good. Secondly, I've been on a roll getting HP and attack-based bruisers to work really well, such as the Mountain King and Lugan the Steadfast. Nukers are by definition one-trick ponies for the most part, while bruisers can have a lot more variety to them. Personally, I fully anticipate the game to transition from a speed nuking meta to a utility bruiser meta as people level up their great hauls, new champions are introduced, and just people building out their arena defenses in general with additional counter mechanisms. My thinking process also gets more and more faction war oriented each day. I feel like the Demon Spawn faction has some tremendous pieces already in place. Kymar and Krutroxa here are like Tony the Tiger, right? They are more than good. They are great. I have no words to describe the usefulness of this guy's AoE, buff strip, and sleep paired with a single target, ignore defense on A1 every single turn. I also pulled a Candrathon from that same Sacred Shard summoning session, so I was thinking that maybe the universe was whispering to me to give hammer-wielding Diablo here a chance and see how he works out. Spoiler alert, I was not overly impressed, so this is probably going to be a short video. This is the gear I threw on him. His weapon here has an absurd amount of crit damage. I went for a crit rate glove in order to stack his speed and HP. Most of the time on speed and HP substat artifacts, I'm looking for attack and crit damage and not so much HP. So I don't have enough pieces to put together something with reliable crit rate using an 80% crit damage glove. If you did build him with that 80% CD glove and still managed to stack HP, attack, speed, and crit rate, maybe possibly even accuracy, please leave me a comment and let me know if he can hit some extraordinary numbers. From my preliminary test, he is just not justifying that kind of gear. Looking at his kit here for a second, it looks somewhat like a cross between Lugan the Steadfast and Baron here. A1 is a single target heal block, it does not scale with HP. A2 is a 2-hit AoE proccing block debuff. Damage test says not insignificant, but still relatively subpar. This passive and secret skill here are really nice, but the odds of proccing Perils 10% across the board, which in my opinion makes it just fool's gold. In contrast to Peril, Baron's secret skill Sky Piercer has a 40% chance of proccing on his A3, and it's basically an AoE version of this without the block revive, but it easily does twice as much damage despite it being AoE. I think to make him viable in the current meta, they should give him something like Turvel's A2, a self speed attack and crit rate buff, and then take an extra turn. Maybe also double the rate of this turn meter increase and chance to proc peril. This would really make him a pretty scary bruiser still, but somewhat unreliable. But it's something I can roll with. I can justify taking the chances of that. If you are thinking of using him for dungeons, I think he is fine. Probably not the greatest or the fastest either. No clan boss viability whatsoever. Not specialized enough in either damage or sustain for faction war. We were just joking the other day that any champion without usage in those areas are just automatically designated arena champion. It's kind of true. So to me right now, he is an arena champion. After leveling and putting on him the aforementioned gear, which I would consider relatively serious, I found one and only one use for him, and it's to knock out Skull Crowns and Black Knights in Arena without having to deal with their unkillable buff. Why only Skull Crown and Black Knight? It's because they are the common ones with unkillable on a passive ability. If I was facing Santa or Rashkard, it would be better to just use Lugan the Steadfast to block their cooldown skills, since their unkillable are on active skills, or maybe just nuke them before they put on the buff. I thought maybe he had potential if he was able to do a massive amount of damage on his A2, considering he has relatively little utility otherwise, but that is not really the case, as you can see here. In the current meta, I think it puts him in an extremely awkward spot. I'm sure some of you pulled him and love him if he is one of your few legendaries, and that's fine. I'm just saying that relatively speaking, his usefulness is very limited in my opinion, even in the bruiser subcategory, unless either the meta or his kit drastically changes. Having said that, he is not a bad champion to help you clear most of the dungeons in the team stages, if that's the phase of the game that you're in. And with that concludes the oversimplification of Mortu-Macaab. He is such a good looking champion. I hope the devs make some of the necessary adjustments to make him really shine. But anyway, I hope you're enjoying the grind and have a great day.